Hello world, PDR coming at you here with a dent on the top edge of a BMW M Edition 3 Series. Little sporty sports car. What I'm going to do now, what I've been doing here is, if you can see it through this line, I've been taking the high spotter, high end tapper, Hemi tappy here, and giving myself some really good taps through this high edge, because I'm trying to break this brow down right where it pinches. This is right where the most of the dent is held in, and I'm not gonna immediately get right behind this dent and push on it. I'm gonna take this dime size Keiko tab, drop it right in there with some glue, and I'm gonna go grab the glue. Sure appreciate you guys tuning in for this little instructional video. We're using a Keiko tab and we're using Black Plague glue. And I'm just going to drop in right to the center and let it fall. Not push on it, just let it sit. It's going to be a tough one to pull because I won't be able to use the lifter. And using the slide hammer is always scary because I'm going to be popping right here and having a big piece of metal, 5-pound piece of metal, an inch away from this glass. Or an inch away from everything else that I could accidentally make another dent, which hasn't happened to me yet. Knock on wood, and let's grab the puller. In preparation for what I just said, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to set that there and let it just kind of sit there. I don't need to know how much I'm pulling or see the thing pull. I'm just going to yank it. I just want to make sure it doesn't come back and hit this. So I'm going to slide in, drop around, turn it the other direction, and just kind of put that right there. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a wimp. Let me just be real smart about it. The angle is very crucial. And I'm giving it just a nice pull. If you know the amount of time that I waited, it was about, I'd say 45 seconds. I'm going to pull almost straight up, nice and solid, and give it a couple of good. There we go. Now, preparedness, I wasn't quite prepared with the isopropyl alcohol right there, and I think it moved it a little. I felt it come up a little bit. What we're going to do is get right back on it with another one right away. Right away. Before this gun cools down, I'm going to put right back in there, and we're going to do the same thing over again. Come right back up again. Plug the gun back in. I am using a corded glue gun. My cordless glue gun should be arriving soon, which will make things a little bit more handy. And while we're waiting for this glue to dry, I will just say, if you guys don't mind, hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel and lets you know every time I put out a new video. Thank you to my 1,410 subscribers. I love you all. And we're going to go up with this one. Give it a nice little kind of Yankee tug so I know where I'm at. There, see how it almost went into that glass? Scares the crap out of me. And let's hit that with a little bit more. I think what I'm going to do here is do some more tapping. and come back and give you another video on the next, maybe final pull. If need be, I might even get behind there with a little tiny skinny and get right on in there. So we will be right back with you on this. All right, we're back. We're gonna make the hopefully last pull. I warmed it up and I've got the door just kind of kicked open a little bit. And I'm giving it some tension, and I'm also just gonna light tap this up. Ooh, it felt like it moved a little. Now what I'm gonna do, guys, is instantly put another tab on it and try one more time. It looked like it moved a little bit. I'm gonna clean this tab off. Right back into here. It's not excessively cold out today. It's actually about 60 degrees out, so I only want this another 10 degrees. I only want this up to about 70, which it's almost there.
I don't think getting the board at all.
What's that?
I'm having a hard time with the light board. Well, I can
Okay.
see it.
Did you stop? Stop. Hello, we're back. Another little pull here. I just laid this down, and I'm gonna say it's been about 25 to 30 seconds. I'm gonna make a pretty quick pull on this one because I want the glue to actually have a little bit of tackiness to it, like that. See how the glue actually stayed on the car this time? Now the blending point in between it staying on the tab and staying on the car is that perfect break point of knowing if you're pulling the metal up right or not. Glue is kind of a different thing than getting behind it and pushing, because obviously when you're behind it and pushing, all you got to do is get it up to flat. But the glue moves it a little bit. This edge right here is always going to have a little edge. It's got a high line where the folded over metal is always going to stay. So all I'm going to try to do is get a little bit more of this out. And before I do that, I'm going to give it a little tap on this edge to release that tension that's holding it in. If you see where I'm hitting, I'm right on that high spot. Sorry about the noise. And I'm going to look right down into it. No board. Couple more little hits. You can hear how solid that sounds. Now, one little spray of isopropyl. Wipe it off with my fingers just to make sure it's nice and clean, which it is with that stuff. And then I'm actually going to use the same tab, but with, I'd say, half a dot, half the amount of glue, one little tiny dot. I'm going to come up to the edge here, and I'm almost going to push it in. Just going to tap it right onto the edge of that. You can see that I've got this towel, just in case something got tapped into the glass. I wouldn't want any accident to occur, and it's always better to be safe than to be sorry. I know that this has probably been quite a long glue pulling tutorial, but the dent itself started off as being one of those dents that I said I didn't know if any would come out at all. You know, who knows? It's so tight up here that we're only hoping for, you know, some improvement. I mean, obviously I'd love to get the dent all the way out. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Let's see what we get out of this pull. One big solid. Oh, some more moved now, guys. I did see some move. Yep, a little bit more. And I think what I'm going to do is just make another pull right there next to it. The same kind of thing I just did. And might be all we can hope for. Right there. Give it a good 25, 30, 35 seconds, and I kind of do want to close this door. Let me just, there we go. The closing of the door. And I did have this, just a little piece of tape there to block from the heat hitting this piece of plastic. And now here's where we're at. I felt like it came more from the edge than from the center. And that's the difficulty of using the slide hammer rather than the little robo lifter that I have. The pneumatic lifter does a really good job of pulling it all up evenly, giving it a nice solid pull. But if the reason why I'm not using that is because it would go right over these little pieces of either aluminum or plastic, and it could crush them. Let alone you could put more dents in the edge here by pulling up and having the 2 feet make more dents. So it's a very difficult dent to glue pull in that instance. We're going to go with the last pull, and that should be it on this one. Although, where did I have my little tap? Oh. Oh, there it is. Excellent. And I'm going to give this a little spray of ISO. Every once in a while, you just want to make sure your tabs are all clean. This one I'm going to use a normal pad of glue. I'd say about 75% of normal. And I'm going to just drop it in the middle and let it kind of stay right there in the center of that. Really, we're at a good temperature. I could get a little bit more warmth out of this. Just a wave of heat to keep it warm. And I would say that we did do some improvement to the dent, just not to completion, which is sad. I'm gonna wait another 10 seconds. I might even wanna go like this before I pull on that. Right where I needed to tap, because I felt like there was some tension there. Let's give it a nice solid angled pull. Oh, I felt like some movement there. Every once in a while the glue puller will surprise you and make something look very, very nice. I mean, this one, the more we pull, it's a very slow process. The more we get, I'm gonna go, gosh, I'm kind of seeing some progress still, so I'm gonna go with one more little pull, and I think we're gonna call this one as good as it gets. I'd like to say I could get right behind it and tool that out, but I've already looked on the interior and it's a double skin that they have around this area. So the access is tough, literally inaccessible. All had to be done from the top side with the glue puller. And without being able to use the pneumatic, I had to use the slide bar, which is always an interesting occurrence. Always kind of, here we go. I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then the third one should come off. A little bit more glue, or isopropyl alcohol, 99% or 90%, the high percentage, and a lot of it came out. I'm gonna give this a little bit of tapping right there, and then buff it off, and and pray that the customer's happy with it. I sure appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the unsuccessful glue pull repair of the 3 Series BMW. And make sure you hit that like button on the way out. This has been PDR, and I'm out. Peace.